I really love wardrobe planning. I find it really fun. It's really enjoyable for me, and I find it to be almost therapeutic because it really encourages me to spend time on me. Really go into my closet, make sure that I'm understanding what I have, using it to the best of its full potential. That way, I'm not impulse buying and buying kind of willy-nilly and without a plan, and it allows me to really stay focused on my long-term goals of curating a closet that I can enjoy for many years. So in today's video, I want to share my summer wardrobe plan with you. I'm going to go over the steps I take every season that I do this, and then how I'm going to adapt those things for 2020 and summer specifically. So if you're anything like me, chances are you're probably still in lockdown or some form of moderate reopening. So you probably don't have any events coming up or any vacations, and I know I don't. And so I almost didn't do this, but then I realized that spending time on my wardrobe is a form of self-care that I was kind of missing after not doing it in the spring. So it really encourages me to get excited about my wardrobe, get up and get dressed, and put time into me, which is really helpful for my productivity and overall happiness. So I hope that this inspires you to do the same, and let's get started. So the first thing I always do is get inspired, and then I will go back through that inspiration to pull out key themes and things that are really speaking to me for that particular season. So in the case of summer 2020, I started with my existing spring-summer fashion board, both on Pinterest and then in my phone on Instagram. I have a folder saved of outfits that catch my eye. I just automatically save them over there. I have a video about how I use inspiration to actually create outfits, so I will link it here for you. But it's such an enjoyable process for me that I really don't give a time limit for this. I just could get inspired all day, every day. So I tend to spend a lot of time on this and then go back through all of my boards and save things that really speak to me for this particular season into a different board, specifically for summer 2020, spring 2020, whatever the season is. So after having done that for this season, I pulled out a couple key themes. The first theme is unsurprisingly old favorites, but restyled in new ways. I love doing this. I do this all the time, and it's something I really encourage you to do if you haven't already. You basically start with an item that you already have, so maybe a white t-shirt, a pair of jeans, pair of shorts, and then you go through your inspiration images and you pull outfits that represent that item. And then you use that as inspiration for new outfits. So it's really helpful because it encourages you to really see versatility in your outfits and your items, because a lot of times we'll buy something and only have in mind one way to wear it, and then it can become very easy to get stuck in that habit and rewear the same thing, which is good. I really think you should have a uniform of sorts and rewear outfits. But I also think that if you're starting to feel a little bit stale, redoing them and coming up with new inspiration is essential. The next common theme for my inspiration images was subtly feminine touches. I really like this. I've been incorporating more of this into my wardrobe since last fall, and I really like the direction that it's taking my personal style. So if you've been following me for kind of the duration of my public personal style journey, I started with a blog and then I created my YouTube channel, and then you know that I really like traditionally masculine things. So I love like structured blazers, tailored shirts, really tailored pants, and then kind of masculine or almost unisex shoes. So Chelsea boots, wingtips, and things like that. And I really like wearing a more androgynous look from head to toe. But lately, I've been adding some feminine bits here and there, and I really, really like what it's done for my style. It gives this contrast that feels really good for the evolution of everything. It feels very much like me. It's something that I naturally gravitate towards. Most of the images that I have saved on my phone and then on Pinterest really reflect that. And a lot of my personal fashion icons did that really well. So I love this, and I'm really excited to play with it more and really have fun with it and kind of break rules, I guess, because there are some things that you get so used to wearing and in your mind they only go with a certain thing, but really being conscious about breaking that formula has been really good, and I'm excited to continue that for summer. Another common theme was color blocking. So this is kind of like the feminine and masculine things kind of clashing a little bit and that contrast. And this is also a carryover from fall when I did that massive wardrobe plan and kind of shifted my personal style direction a little bit. And this is one that I have been continuing to love since last fall. I really like how it breaks the visual line. It almost seems aggressive in a way, but it's not at the same time. It's not as subtle as a head to toe monochromatic outfit, which you know that I love, but I think it does something really beautiful for my personal style. So there's this image that I saved that I can't not stop thinking about, and it really plays into this. She looks so effortless and so chic, and she's wearing a different colored top, different colored pants, and then a different colored pair of shoes. So that 3-color combination that I love, but it just seems so thoughtful and intentional, and that has definitely served as a major inspiration point for summer 2020, and I'm excited to continue that into the rest of the year as well. Now, along those same lines, I am also really excited about kind of a personal style shift that I'm experiencing, a little bit of an evolution in my personal style journey, something that's come as a result of re-exploring a couple of things that I touched on really briefly last year, but then kind of moved on and didn't really focus too much on, and also the center of a really exciting video that I have coming up. I will be working with a couple of different people. I don't want to give away too much, so I won't disclose who they are or anything yet, but they are going to essentially give me feedback on my personal style as it pertains to my essence, my yin-yang balance, and kind of my whole presence, and then give me some recommendations based on how I can best interpret that into clothing. So I am so excited for that, and I am really excited to share it with you because I think it can be such a fun way to look at style, because up until this point, my personal style journey has been obviously focused on just me and my own eyes and what I enjoy. But I think that when you're like me and you're at a position where you know what you like and you want to break out a little bit, something isn't quite where you want it to be, but you don't really know where to go, I think having someone else come in can be really helpful. So be on the lookout for that. And like I said, I'm so excited to share that with you. Now let's go over my color palette for the season. I am a huge advocate for color palettes. I think that it's really good to have a color palette for your wardrobe because then you can mix and match everything because everything kind of goes together. You get much more use out of your wardrobe that way. And then also, I think it's really good because it kind of gives you focus and allows you to shop better, because if things aren't in your color palette, you won't buy them. And then also just really understand what you like. And I think that's such a good part of personal style. So I have a locked color palette. I have been working on it over the last couple of years. It started with, I think, just 4 colors. I think they were black, white, cream and camel, and then brown. And from there, I've added other colors. And a way that's been really helpful for me is to look at my color palette in seasonal sections. So I have kind of my base colors, or the colors I wear all year, and then my accent colors that are divided by spring, summer, and then fall, winter. So that isn't going to change for this season, except I'm going to try to give myself access to some of the colors that I've normally kept separate from each other. I think that it's going to encourage me to really wear more of my clothes and have more fun experimenting with color, so that I know if it's a color I enjoy year round or if it's something that I do just enjoy during the fall, winter. All part of this process, and then also an aid to kind of direct me a little bit more with the color blocking that I want to be playing around with, because I think having access to more colors will make that a little bit more fun and a little bit more freeing and less restrictive. So the last part of my wardrobe plan is always to create my wish list. I love wish lists. I think it is so helpful to have a list because it prevents impulse buying, allows you to really focus in on what you actually need for your personal style, and then any holes in your closet that actually for practical purposes need to be filled. And then also, I think you get a real gratification from really planning out things you're going to buy and not just buying anything because it's cute, and instead really focusing in on how it will contribute to your personal style and be something that you'll enjoy wearing for a long time. So I've enjoyed the process of figuring out the best way to structure my wish list, and I'm actually going to do a video about that because it took some trial and error. So it's going to be the video right after this one, and I'm going to go through kind of how I structure it, why, and the process that I take, because it was a little bit of a learning curve. So hopefully it can help you. But for the current season, or the upcoming season, summer, I have things on my list, but I don't feel this urgency because so many of us are not shopping as much. We don't have anywhere we're going probably, and no real plans. So I have things that I may pick up, maybe won't, but I will put my list for you here anyways, you can see. And then of course link to my blog where it has all the pretty pictures. But yeah, I'm kind of taking a fluid approach to it, and I enjoy that, and I like kind of the flexibility that's given me. So I hope that you enjoyed this talk through, this really lengthy talk through. I hope that it gave you some direction for your own wardrobe plan, and maybe if it's something you haven't done before, hopefully this will inspire you to do it. And if it's something that you do all of the time, I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. And like always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Have a great day.